My wife refused to let my teenage daughter, Anna, move back in with us, claiming that Anna isn't real family. After a heated argument, she finally admitted that she was jealous of my daughter. Anna, who is 16, was born after an unexpected encounter when I was 24. Her mother and I were never in a relationship, it was a one-night stand, but we've managed to stay close and co-parent Anna in a healthy, friendly way. For the past few years, Anna has lived with her mother and stepfather on another continent. Recently, though, she decided she wanted to come back because she's feeling uncomfortable in her current situation. She misses her family and friends, and the language barrier has made her feel very isolated. It's a lot harder to make friends in a foreign language, and it's not the same as speaking your native tongue. After discussing it with Anna's mother, we both agreed that it would be best for Anna to live with me. While my office has taken up Anna's old room, I can easily set it up for her again. I hadn't spoken to my wife about it yet, as I wanted to get her input first, but I was confident she'd be on board since we'd talked about this possibility in the past. However, my wife was firmly against it. She and Anna have never been close. They met only once, at our wedding, when I managed to buy Anna a plane ticket to attend. That was also the last time I saw her in person. Although Anna and my wife don't speak much, they exchange occasional words during video calls, and Anna enjoys talking to her younger brother, who really likes her, even though they've only connected online. My wife said Anna wouldn't feel comfortable living with strangers. I reminded her that we are Anna's family, but she insisted that she and our toddler are not Anna's family because they barely know her in person. It hurt to hear her say that, especially since our toddler loves his sister despite only knowing her online. The argument escalated, and I ended up telling my wife that my daughter will always come first because, to me, my children take priority. She knew about Anna when we got married. My wife got angry and argued that bringing Anna home would disrupt our household dynamics, and she didn't want to be a stepmother. She pointed out that Anna has lived abroad for years and that it's different having her here every day. I told her that no one was asking her to be a stepmother, that I would take full responsibility for Anna, as I always have. When Anna stayed with me for extended periods, I was the one who took care of her. I handled everything, work, cooking, cleaning, and caring for our son when my wife was busy. We support each other in raising our son, just as she does when I need a break. I don't understand why some people are surprised that I take full responsibility for my own child. In my frustration, I told my wife that if she couldn't accept Anna's presence in our home and hated the idea so much, she could go stay in a hotel. I realize now that I shouldn't have said that, and it only made things worse, leading to an even bigger argument. Anna has every right to live in my house if she wants to, but my wife disagrees. I love my wife deeply, but my priority is providing for my children, and I want Anna to feel welcome after all these years apart. Since the argument, my wife hasn't spoken to me, and she's still firm in her stance that Anna shouldn't come. I'm afraid that if I push the issue, we'll just argue again, and I won't turn my back on my daughter. Before we married, my wife knew that Anna used to live with me part-time, and we discussed the possibility of her returning if things didn't work out abroad. My wife had agreed to this years ago, but now she admits she thought Anna would stay with her mother since their business was doing well. For privacy reasons, I've altered a few details, as Anna uses Reddit too. Edit: I've been reading through the comments and have a lot to think about. Thanks to everyone for the advice. Whether positive or critical, it's really helping me reflect. However, I'd appreciate it if the comments stayed respectful as I'm just a person trying to work through a tough situation. Relevant comments. Commenter: if your wife doesn't change her mind, do you think your marriage will last? OP: honestly, no. Even though I love my wife, I can't let my daughter feel unwelcome in my own home. Commenter: what about the child you share with your wife? OP: my son will never be homeless. Ideally, I want to work things out with my wife, but if she keeps rejecting Anna, I'll make sure both my children are taken care of, whether that means 50-50 custody or some other arrangement. I'll be there for my son, just as I've been for Anna. Commenter: if your wife leaves, so does your son. OP: I've thought about that too. Co-parenting with Anna's mother has always been easy because we've remained friends, but if I divorce my wife, I worry it might be harder with my son. Update: May 15, 2024. I've decided to delete the post due to some privacy concerns. Someone started spamming me, and I'm worried my account could get banned because of it. I'll provide updates here, where I can close comments if needed. Just to clarify, I'm from a country where flying is expensive. If I traveled, I would have to bring my wife and son too, which we simply can't afford. I allowed my daughter's mother to take her to another country because, like any father, I want her to have better opportunities in life. I don't believe this makes me a bad father, but I understand that some people who've lived with privilege might not see it that way. The last time I could afford tickets was to have Anna come to our wedding. Not all of us have the luxury of paying for frequent plane flights. I've been reflecting a lot, and honestly, I'm the one at fault here for the way I treated my wife. While many of the comments agreed with my stance, I still regret what I said to the woman I love. Despite my anger, I apologized to her for what I said and how I said it. I also told her that I don't like it when she ignores me and shuts down whenever we try to talk about our issues. The way she denied the bond between our children felt cruel, and I made sure to express that. She apologized too, saying she had been angry and regretted what she'd said. I also made it clear that Anna is coming to live with us because I have an obligation to provide a home for both my children. I reminded her that, morally and legally, I can't let my daughter be without a place in my home. She tried to argue, but I asked her how she would feel if we divorced and my new partner refused to let our son live with me just because she didn't sign up for it. I wanted her to understand that abandoning my children for a relationship wasn't something I would ever do. My wife agreed and said she knew I would never abandon my kids. She told me she wanted to have a child with me because she admired how I stayed connected with Anna despite the distance. She's seen how much I prioritize our children, and that was part of what drew her to me. Then I asked her why she was so opposed to Anna being here, and she admitted it was jealousy. This wasn't entirely new to me. I recalled a birthday of Anna's when I sent money to her mother to buy her an expensive dress, and my wife commented, "I guess you'll buy our son something just as expensive." At the time, I dismissed it, thinking it was a weird joke, but now I see it for what it was. My wife admitted that she was afraid of losing time and attention from me and our son if Anna were to live with us. I reassured her that if we had 2 children, my time would be divided, but I could still give both of them my full attention. I also reminded her that Anna is not a troubled teenager and doesn't pose a threat to our home life. We spent a lot of time talking, and I explained that I want everything to work out for both of us. I told her that I would never let her feel neglected or unimportant, and I truly wanted to understand what was bothering her. I apologized for any pain I may have caused and promised to keep an open line of communication. My wife admitted that her jealousy was wrong, and she felt embarrassed by it. Still, she was honest about her feelings and acknowledged that it was something she needed to work on. I told her that if she wanted to work through it, seeking therapy might be helpful, as I wasn't going to let my daughter live in a home where she didn't feel welcomed or loved. My wife agreed to consider therapy, and after talking things through over the past few days, she's committed to working on herself. She recognizes that her feelings are unjust and doesn't want to feel like that, especially towards a little girl. My wife and Anna had a good relationship during video calls, and I think the problem was that I hadn't encouraged them to talk one-on-one more. Anna really likes my wife and calls her auntie, even though they don't know each other very well. I didn't want Anna to find out that my wife harbors negative feelings toward her, so I've been making an effort to help them bond. I suggested to my wife that they play a video game together, one that Anna and I play often. I knew Anna would love it. The two of them share a lot of the same interests, and my wife agreed to try it. She said she loves me and wants to give it a shot, for me and for our son. If I were to divorce my wife, I would be breaking up my son's home, and that's something I don't want to do. I love my wife, and I want this to work. I'm committed to doing my part to help us move past this, but I made it clear to her that if she ever mistreats Anna, our relationship will end. She understood, and I'm hopeful that she will work on her feelings moving forward. I haven't confirmed anything with Anna's mother about when Anna will move in because I still need to fix up the room and make sure my wife and our daughter can spend more time getting to know each other. My therapist suggested taking it slow, and that seems like the best approach. Over the past few days, my wife and Anna have started having longer conversations, and it's been great to see them connect. Anna and my wife even began talking about random topics, and I'm glad to see that they're finding common ground. I'm sure some people will criticize me for not divorcing my wife right away, but it's not that simple. If all it took was arguing to call it quits, I would have ended my marriage long ago. I believe that through honest communication, we can resolve our issues and move forward. My wife has shown me that she's willing to work on herself, and I'm giving her a chance to prove that she can accept Anna as part of our family. I'm not going to force my wife and daughter to be best friends, but I also won't let my daughter feel unwelcome in my home. I won't use her as a free babysitter, as some have suggested. Both she and our son are welcome to live here for as long as they need. Edit. Some people have claimed my wife posted here, but that's not true. She doesn't use this site. Edit 2. I've been getting a lot of notifications from a bot and private spam messages from accounts that were only created today. I'm not sure what's going on, but it's been a bit overwhelming. I honestly don't know who's behind all this, and I can't fathom what's so entertaining about annoying someone like this. If you have a problem, just block me. Relevant comments where OP has replied. Commenter, if your wife doesn't get over her jealousy, though, you're going to have to make a choice. Hopefully, since she admitted how awful what she said was, she'll improve. OP, yes, I made it clear to my wife that my priority will always be to protect my children. If her jealousy resurfaces, there won't be a second chance. Commenter, do you plan on leaving your daughter alone with your wife? OP, for now, they only have video calls when I'm around. If my daughter wants to have one-on-one calls with my wife, then that's fine. Anna is sharp and knows how to speak up if she ever feels uncomfortable, whether it's with me, her mom, or her stepdad. Commenter, I mean when your daughter comes to live with you, would you feel comfortable leaving your wife alone with her? OP, if my wife continues to work on herself and keeps improving her relationship with Anna, yes, I would be comfortable. As I mentioned in my post, the reason they're having video calls is to build that comfort with each other before Anna moves in. Commenter, just because she's nice during video calls doesn't mean she'll be the same when your daughter is living there, especially since she doesn't want her there. OP, that's true, but it doesn't mean she'll treat her poorly either. None of us can predict the future. I prefer to focus on what's best for everyone in my family and trust that my wife wants to improve for herself and those around her, with professional help. Commenter, your wife needs to feel like she can talk to you if she's uncomfortable. OP, my wife knows she can talk to me about anything. As I said, we've had sincere, open conversations, and she's been honest with me about her feelings. Update, June 23, 2024. I didn't plan on updating again, but I thought why not, since I have some free time while looking after my toddler. My daughter and my wife's relationship is going really well. They video call to watch series together, and they've even started having inside jokes that I don't quite understand, which I think is a good sign. I joke that I'm feeling a little left out now. My wife has been going to therapy, and I've also started attending. We both want to improve ourselves together. She knows that her jealousy toward my daughter was something she had to work on. A few weeks ago, my wife sat down with Anna and explained how she'd been feeling, apologizing for her jealousy. Anna was surprised by this, but she accepted the apology and told my wife that she respected her for being honest and wanting to be a better person. I left them to talk privately that day, and since then, their bond has grown stronger. My wife said Anna told her that she values sincerity and wants to support her in her growth. In a previous post, Manny mentioned that I decided to bring Anna back without discussing it with my wife first. That's not true. I never confirmed anything to Anna's mother until after I spoke with my wife. We were never a couple. Anna's mother and I were never married. The talk about bringing Anna back had been paused because I wanted them to get to know each other better before she moved in. But now my wife is even excited to decorate Anna's room. She rejected all my decorating ideas because they were too boring for a girl, so she's having fun redesigning the room with our toddler, who's thrilled to finally have his sister with us. We haven't set a date yet because Anna's mother is still working with the school on some issues, and I have some preparations to make here, but things are moving along. Update 3, September 12, 2024. Hi all, I just wanted to share one final update before deleting this account. I don't really see a need to keep it anymore. My daughter has been living with us for a few weeks now. Her relationship with my wife is going well, and her little brother is absolutely thrilled to have her here. They've been spending lots of time together, and it's great to see them bonding. My wife has been doing a lot of work on herself, and I've noticed real changes in a positive direction, especially in how she interacts with Anna. It really stood out to me when we went to pick Anna up at the airport. My wife was genuinely excited to see her after months of watching movies together online. She's no longer jealous of Anna, and while it's a process that takes time, I'm confident she's committed to improving. Anna hasn't started school here yet, but she'll have to wait until next year. We decided to bring her now because the plane tickets will be much more expensive later. It was actually my wife who suggested bringing Anna sooner and told me she felt ready to spend time with her in person. I was really happy to hear that, especially since I didn't expect her to feel ready so soon. Anna's previous home in Asia was beautiful and safe, but it was tough for her to adapt. The language barrier and bullying there made things even harder. She misses her mom sometimes, but we text a lot, and I try to spend as much time with her as possible. We've also been visiting family, and she's met my wife's relatives. Overall, she seems happy here. She's told me she missed her grandparents, uncles, and cousins, and the whole family is really happy to have her back. As for my wife and me, we're doing great. I've been working on myself too, going to therapy, and we've been able to communicate openly about anything that bothers us. I think the key to our relationship is that we talk through everything, even the difficult stuff. I know my wife is a good person, and while she has her insecurities, she works hard to improve. I love her, and I know she's a good mother who wouldn't treat my daughter poorly. I also like to take care of our children, cooking, cleaning, and helping out, but I'm still getting used to the fact that Anna can now handle these things on her own. Haha, she's grown up so much in my eyes, even though she'll always be my little girl, just like her brother. Anyway, I hope this update wasn't too boring. I know some of you thought I'd end up divorcing my wife, but things are working out now. They have a real friendship, and if they're happy, I'm happy too.